Hello!
Hello!
You might notice that Lauren and I are very cozy today. It's not... I mean, it is because I like sitting close to you, but it's not entirely for that. It's because today, Lauren and I have a guest, and it's Catherine Swift!
Welcome. Oh my gosh, we're so excited to talk to you today.
Very, very excited.
About your new book.
Mm-hmm. Which should be here, but it's not here.
That's okay.
Your book!
Your book!
Hey folks, just a quick check-in before we start. You might be watching this and think to yourself like, yeah, what is the lighting? And the problem is that we used the sun and we can't control it, alas. So I'm editing it and trying to fix it, but if the light is all wonky, that's why. Enjoy!
Catherine, tell us about your book. It is called
Words and Music. It's the first book in a new series called the Jet Set Romance series, which will cover a different group of friends each time in different cities each time.
Very cool.
So yeah, this time we're doing London and Vancouver.
I love a book in London.
And London, Ontario, and London, England.
I know, but I like, London, England. I dream about London, England.
You don't dream about London, Ontario?
Can't say I do.
Wow.
I just like the juxtaposition. And we need more books set in Canada. So this one's about a rock star who falls in love with this amazing girl, and they just kind of like escape their problems with each other. Mm-hmm. And it's a little bit toxic, but it's you know, it comes back around.
Yeah. Yeah.
We just finished it not too long ago. And I really enjoyed it. The vibe is just like so right. Mm-hmm. I found it like quite a good little love story, and like the spice was right. And yeah, we're not gonna like spoil too much of this book,
we're gonna try not to.
Welcome to the first video where we are not spoiling every single aspect,
because you can stay.
Yeah. I also enjoyed like the music aspect. I really liked the characters.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like a fun read.
I wish that I'd been like smart enough to put lyrics in there, but I cannot write a song to save my life.
Oh well, I mean,
neither can third.
So that's
I know
that's perfect.
That's why.
I was going to say one thing that you did in the novel was you included a playlist.
Yes.
Which is really cool.
I love that.
I don't know if you have that playlist somewhere.
It's on Spotify.
You
Okay.
Okay, awesome.
It's on Spotify.
So we will make sure that we link that playlist.
We obviously we love attaching music to books, and we add like a song to the end of all our videos that we relate. So we were like talking, we're like, should we do that? And we're like, she already has a whole playlist. Like, she's on it.
She knows.
And I was just gonna do London Boy by Taylor Swift anyway.
In my head, it's on the soundtrack. Is it physically on the soundtrack?
I don't know. I can tell you. It does have London Bridge by Fergie on
That's
here.
It does.
That's amazing.
I love that Break Even by the
Arctic
Script is on there.
Monkeys.
I love that song.
No, we don't have Taylor Swift on here.
Okay, well, we'll have to update it.
Yeah.
It's not too late, I guess.
I
think it's
love
on
it.
the actual, I couldn't fit every single song.
No, that's super
on
fair. On the page.
We have lots of questions for Catherine because it is really cool getting to sit down with an author and hear their perspective on just even your process, and I don't know. We have lots of questions.
An open book, as they say. It's my favorite pun.
So I guess the first thing I wanted to ask was just how long was your writing process? I know you talk about it a little bit in the acknowledgements, but...
So I took breaks between. It didn't take me 8 years to write the book completely from beginning to end. So I think I got the idea initially in 2014 from Pinterest. Thank you, Pinterest. Just scrolling, and I saw, I don't know if you guys have watched Doctor Who.
Yes,
I know that
a little
we kind of
bit.
talked about it a little
I only
bit.
just started it,
So in later seasons, there's a character named Rory Williams. And so there was a picture I saw, it's a paparazzi photo, of Arthur Darvill, Rory Williams, walking across the street, smoking a cigarette, wearing Converse. And I stopped in my digital tracks, and I was like, it needs to be a book. I don't know what the book's going to be, but it needs to be a book. I clicked on the picture, and then when you scroll up, it gives you more pictures. And I have the hugest crush on Arthur Darvill.
Yeah.
That's why his name's Thur.
Yeah.
Because he was originally Arthur Darvill.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was Arthur's a cool name, but how sexy is Thur?
When I think Arthur, I'm like, King Arthur.
I think of and I said, hey, what kind of day?
Yes, that's what I was going to say. When I think of Arthur, I think of you. And then I can't get into the zone for the spicy book, so I had to rename him Thur.
You're like, that sign can't stop me because I can't read.
So then I just started making a board on Pinterest. I always like to launch the Pinterest board right before book release. So I wrote the whole book, and then I was like, I can't publish a book without going to London. how can I write a book set in London and I have never been to London?
Love that.
Yeah.
So I was like, I guess I'll wait till I can go to London.
Never.
I have yet to be to London.
Yes, I
Aw.
know, that's so hard.
So the plan was to go when I was like 25, and then that didn't happen because I got married and had Belle.
I mean, very exciting, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I knew I wanted to publish 3 books this year.
That's
That's
wild.
huge.
Yeah.
That's a huge goal. Yeah.
Yeah, I went from publishing 1 book in 3 years, and I was like, you know what's a reasonable, logical idea is to publish 3 books in 1 year.
Yeah. She's Stephen King.
I am,
Stephen King. Whoa.
I am a type A perfectionist, and I don't know how to stop putting
Yeah.
things on my to-do list.
Yeah.
Can you tell?
Zoom in on me here. Are you a therapist?
Please
Help
give
me.
us free therapy.
Therapy sponsor us. The therapy scene I wrote for myself. And
Yeah.
by I wrote for myself, I mean it just came out of my fingers. It's
So
just,
you wrote it for yourself.
I wrote it
and
for myself.
Also for me.
Yeah.
So thank you. I really liked it. I don't know. I like books that incorporate therapy too, and I think that that's just like a really healthy, like, I don't know.
normalize it.
Normalize
Yeah.
it. Go to therapy.
Yeah.
Get your brain checked out. Anyway, it took
Anyway,
me 8 years
took me-
with some pauses.
With some pauses. And then I knew I wanted to publish 3 books this year, so I was like, okay, I need to take one of my backlist projects that's basically written, and I'll just polish it up a little bit. I polished it up a lot. It changed a lot. I was like, I'm just gonna like fix a couple things. And no, I had to like add so many things. We added characters, we deleted characters. I added more diversity.
I can't even like imagine like you make this character and you're like attached to it, and then you're like, wait, I need to change everything about them. That's so like scary. I think.
It helped that I had years of distance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's fair.
Thur and Layla were Thur and Layla forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very passionate about writing books about diversity and like inclusivity and like including that in all my books. And I was like, okay, well maybe I could like swap one of their genders so that we have like a same-sex relationship, or maybe I can swap their races so we have something like that. And then I was like, no, they need to just stay them. Like I've spent 8 years with
That's
them,
fair.
Yeah.
and they're who they are.
You know who they are, yeah.
Yeah. And like
They're
Thur,
close
he
to
lives
those
here.
characters.
Like he like probably has, I would say, like 20% of my brain, and he just lives up here because he's copy pasted me in like lots of ways.
He's he was my favorite. I would say my favorite character.
Yeah, I'd
in the
agree.
book.
I find so many romance books are written for women. Not that this book isn't written for women, but like written for women from the female's point of view.
Yeah.
And I like getting in the guy's
Yeah.
head.
I connected with Thur more than I connected with Layla.
Yeah.
I think like she's a bit of a romanticizer like I am, but man, his addictive personality and like perfectionism is like that
Very
is like,
you.
so me.
Yeah. I enjoyed that like it's a romance book with like multiple POVs, but not necessarily just the 2 main love interests. Like you'll get like a chapter from B's point of view or a chapter from like
Quentin.
Yeah, and I thought that was like really interesting and like really let us get into the lives of the people around them, because it's like at its core it's a romance book, but it's also kind of a found family book and like about those other people around them and how like they all kind of support each other and help each other through like hard stuff. And so I thought it was so special, like getting point of views from different characters beyond the 2 main.
Like if we had just seen the book from like
Thur
Thur and
and Layla.
Layla's perspective,
Yeah.
we wouldn't have felt that same like connection to the other characters. But when did you feel ready to release it?
Oh, I'm not.
Yeah,
never.
The book's coming out in 9 days. I'm not. Let It Rain's been out for a year and 2 months. I'm not ready to release it.
What drew you to music as the kind of defining force of this?
So this is a little bit probably less of a romantic answer than you want. Arthur Darvill is a musician.
That's valid.
So when I saw his picture
Oh yeah, I forgot.
and I scrolled,
Yeah.
he like does Broadway and stuff, and there was a picture of him holding a guitar, and I was like, rock star.
That's it. I love that.
And then there was another picture where he looks really disheveled, and I was like, addicted rock star.
I think like sometimes you just find a vibe.
Often so many people want like a deep justification for everything. Like
Yeah.
they'll be like, why did you give that book 5 stars? I'm like, I don't know. I liked the character and I thought it was fun.
It made me
Like,
feel happy.
It's like sometimes it's just like there's a little spark.
it makes you happy.
Spark of an idea, it makes you happy, and so then you run with it. And I think
Yeah.
it's pretty cool that you wrote a whole damn book.
But it expanded to become so much.
Yeah,
more, right?
100%.
When I first started writing it, I don't think I'd ever had a drink of alcohol. I didn't know I had an addictive personality. And so, like, it grew over time, and then I had, like, a teensy little, like, alcoholism stint in my youth, or actually, like, in my early 20s, it was my youth. And so then that morphed it more into it. I was like, okay, this is a story about addiction and recovery.
Yeah.
But was that the intention going in? No, absolutely not.
Favorite character?
Arthur.
Yeah.
Arthur.
Yeah.
It's got, but let's, like, to shake it up a little bit, My second favorite character would probably be Quentin. I wish I could grow up and be Quentin and do yoga every day at 5 a.m.
Oh my gosh.
and eat healthy food.
It's like you Arthur trying to grow into
Yes, that's exactly it. Like, I want to, like, you know, eat organic and wear, like, sustainable clothes, and I want to be Quentin.
And play the drums, right?
And play the drums.
Yeah.
I really want to play the drums.
Did you find any of them especially challenging to write?
I don't know if I found them challenging to write, but it was really hard to not include Brooks more, Bee's brother.
Yeah.
Because he was so, like, fun and
Yeah.
cute and just, like, but he wasn't there, and I couldn't keep getting him to call his sister to put him on
Yeah.
the page. He was the hardest to, like, keep out.
That's fair. I really liked Brooks, and I like was always excited when he came up.
I wanted to add in that, like, musical diversity, right? Because, like, Thurs rock and a little bit of jazz here and there, and then, like, he's just, like, metal.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen, it's on Netflix, and it's called Metal Awards.
A long time ago, yep.
One of my favorite movies ever. So, the main character, like, the main rock star guy, not the cute friend guy, but, like, that's Brooks.
Oh, I can
like,
see
the long hair.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You already have castings in mind.
Yeah.
If you're manifesting some big, like, film or TV or whatever adaptations.
Yeah.
You have shared your castings with me because I'm such a visual person like that. I'm always fan casting people I read in books, and you're like, you can't relate to
I cannot fan
Blur
cast.
blobs.
I like, they're literally, like I was saying earlier, like, in my brain, there is just, like, an amorphous male blob with, like, a cigarette, and that's just him. He's like the human being from Community.
That's ridiculous.
That's every character for me.
So, when you're picturing the spicy scenes, is it just lots of blobs doing blobs?
Yeah, it's like the movie Flubber.
I feel like it's just, I don't necessarily picture, like, I'll picture environments and picture, like, mostly, like, settings, but I don't know that I'm necessarily, like, visually picturing everything that's happening.
Kind of so fascinating.
Brains are weird.
Brains are so weird.
You heard it here first. Your brain is weird.
I see everything like a movie.
Yeah.
Which is part of the problem of why I do multi-POV books.
Yeah.
You don't just watch a TV show or a movie from one character's point of view.
Can you lightning round your fan casts?
Yes. Okay. Thur is Arthur Darvill. Layla is... I said the name to you the other day. Emily Rudd.
Emily Rudd, yeah.
Quentin was Jared Leto, but apparently he's not, like, a super cool human being.
Yeah.
So, I recast him to Orlando Bloom.
Okay.
Which I think is, like, okay.
Yeah, I can support.
But I'm not, like, super passionate
Pirate's
about
life
that.
for me.
Yo ho, yo ho.
Yo ho, me ho.
Just two hoes, just living a pirate life.
Phoebe is Zoe Kravitz, naturally. Jeremy, I don't remember his real name, but he's the guy who played Blaise Zambini in Harry Potter. Sterling Jones, Phoebe's dad, is obviously Lenny Kravitz.
Yeah.
And then Vance is just like some older hot black dude. I couldn't find an actor for him.
But you also had Thur as Tom Felton and I'm personally manifesting that.
It has to.
It has to be. If you're watching this, Tom Felton, we want you.
Please call us.
Yeah.
Your first book, Let It Rain, is like a fantasy novel. It's like more in that medieval kind of like realm.
Castles and things.
Yeah. So did you find that this was more or less challenging to write like a more contemporary novel, or was it more similar than you expected?
I think because they were both multi-POV, it was easier to slip into, like, the mindset of it. Mm-hmm. It was easier in the way that everybody can text and not send letters by horseback. So,
I mean,
I vote for letters.
That's like,
I want to send a letter by a bird.
That's so funny. I mean, I feel like that's true to just
just
life in general.
For ease of getting stuff across and making it happen faster. Because it's like, to get a letter from one kingdom to the next, I had to make time pass.
In between,
Whereas, like, this contemporary, it's like, you send a text message, it's instant.
Yeah.
We can carry on with our freaking lives.
Yeah.
So was that probably like the hardest
That was
thing?
the hardest thing. That was
Interesting.
It's not like hard, it was just like the different, like, just a different mindset.
Yeah.
But I wrote Mistletoe Messes and Peppermint Kisses between the two, which was first person.
Interesting.
And we're only in one brain. So I had to jump from multi-POV medieval to fun festive nonsense in first person to multi-POV in London, which had a different dialect and just a completely different vibe. So I really put myself through the mental ringer.
Yeah.
Authors have like generally a niche, right?
Yeah.
Like you're like a fantasy author or you're like whatever. But I like that you've kind of just been like, nah, I'm writing what I
Everything.
want to write.
Like I'm going to release like a noir detective book.
Love it.
And then there's going to be like a 1920s gangster romance.
Ooh.
And like basically if it exists and it's a vibe, there's going to be a book. And like there's lots of authors out there who will expand into different genres and then use a pen name.
Yeah.
No, I don't have the energy for that. I don't have the time for that. And then I would lose my people and then have to, no.
Yeah, I fully agree with you.
I'm just going to release random
Yeah.
books. Everybody watches different genres of movies and TV anyway.
Yeah.
Next is maybe the hardest book to ask anyone who reads, and it's a favorite book. It maybe doesn't have to be like your all-time favorite, but just something you've been like really vibing with, maybe.
To be honest, I'm too busy writing to read very much.
Very
but when
fair.
I do read, I'm a very passionate fan fiction reader.
Nice.
I just read fan fiction
Yeah.
a lot.
Love it.
But to give you a genuine answer, my favorite book ever is called Dealing with Dragons by Patricia C. Reed. It's like young adult.
Yeah.
It's about a princess who is sick of castle life and she runs away to live with dragons.
I love it.
That's so fun.
I'm going to put it on my list.
Yeah.
It's
Cool.
amazing. It's actually like a crime that the first book I published that was a medieval book and had no dragons in it.
Yeah,
It's a
I know.
crime.
I was going to say, where are the dragons and let it rain?
I'm getting to it. That's another series, guys.
Just so much on your plate and so much vision.
Yeah, no kidding.
57 books are currently in various states of progress.
That's
Wow.
wild.
I did the
can-
math, and if I only publish one book a year, I'll be like 80.
Yeah.
So I can't do that. So I publish 2 books a year minimum, and then I'll be like,
Well, yeah, but at the
60.
end of your
No
life,
new ideas.
no new ideas, and they keep coming, man. They keep coming.
Yeah.
So much of like the human experience is storytelling, and so it's like such a special thing to be an author and like be able to like kind of spread your stories so wide. I love that.
Yeah, we think you're pretty cool, man.
Thanks, man.
Do you admire any particular authors?
That's a challenging question.
It's a
We're
challenging
sorry.
question. I think that there are various indie authors who inspire me, and I'm so grateful for their content on YouTube.
Yeah.
I would be nothing without them. Jessie Elliott is wonderful. She's a wonderful indie author. Bethany Antizada is also another YouTube author, and she's absolutely fantastic. So those are kind of like the authors that like live in my world. But like I said, I mostly just read fan fiction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite fan fiction authors, she's actually publishing a real book. I mean, if you've ever read fan fiction, those are
Like,
real
yeah,
books.
They're real
like,
books. They're like 200,000 words,
Yeah.
and you're
Yeah.
like, this is.
and like some of it's better written than books you can find
Yeah.
in a bookstore.
Well, and so
Certainly.
many.
Like, obviously there's not good
Yeah.
stuff, but like,
And so many like published authors started as like fan fiction writers.
yeah,
Some of the best.
me,
Yeah.
for example.
Can you maybe talk a bit about like self-publishing and like that route,
Yeah.
and if it came with any particular challenges or anything you really love about self-publishing?
I love self-publishing. I don't know if I'll ever try to traditionally publish, partly because I'm typing. And I'm a giant control freak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you write a book and you traditionally publish it, you write it to the best of your ability and then you ship it off, and maybe in a year or two you hear something.
Yeah.
I do not have the patience for that.
Yeah.
There's
valid.
no way.
I feel like they also like no shade to
No,
traditional
absolutely not.
publishing,
It's perfect for
but-
other people.
But I personally know people who are like, I have this fantasy novel that's like, 160,000 words, and like, agents and whatever are like, cut 60,000 words
Yeah.
of this, and it's like, could you imagine?
No.
Yeah.
Well, yes, I've
That'd be so
imagined it,
sad.
and I immediately said no and went back to
Yeah,
indie publishing.
yeah.
Like, you get no say in your book cover.
Yeah.
They can change your title. They
Yeah,
can
that
change your main
sucks.
characters' names. They can change whatever they want. Your ending, they can tell you to rewrite it. And you have to because you signed a
Yeah,
contract.
that's hard.
I'm already being told what to do by the 16 characters in my brain.
Yeah.
I don't need
You don't
somebody
need like
who
an
can't
external.
hear them.
You like get to know your characters, right? And so
Yeah.
it might be like, okay, but you're telling me to do something that's like not something that character would do, and you haven't like sat with that character. You haven't got to like deeply know who they are, because I feel like yes, there's like what you see in the book, but the character is beyond that for the author. There's more backstory. There's more like deeply understanding like all that character's intricacies, because you literally like created them.
I mean, even like, especially the fact that like you've been sitting on this novel for 8 years. I mean, that's like a fully like marinated person.
Yes.
A marinated child.
It's longer
steeping.
than making a human being
yeah.
in your womb, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the downside, because there's quite a few downsides.
Yeah.
Is that I have you can hire out editors and you can hire out certain people, but there's not like, if I'm struggling, I don't have a boss or a coworker or somebody higher than me who I can necessarily go to and be like, I don't know how to do this, please help me.
Yeah.
It's me. I'm the marketing team. I'm the advertising team.
Yeah.
I'm the writing team, the editing team, the formatting team. Like, I'm everything. And I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I don't have all of the funds to like outsource and hire people to do certain things.
Yeah.
That's got to be really stressful.
That was hard. Being alone is hard.
Yeah.
And also like
I
having...
can't wait to bother you someday instead of doing it all by myself.
Yes, absolutely. I'm planning to
Be my mentor.
I'm gonna do like all the tutorials and stuff on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm
and like
stoked
give
to
back
see
to the community as much as I've like taken. I really
Yeah.
want to do that. One of the reasons it took 3 years to do Let It Rain is because I had to learn how to publish a book,
Yeah.
which I think was 2 out of the 3 years it took to write the book.
Yeah.
So this book discusses like the theme of addiction at length. It really kind of feeds into the idea of like sex, singular drugs.
Just one drug!
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Can you just talk a bit about the process of like including such a heavy topic? I personally would be scared to like add something so heavy. So I'm just like interested in
I
that
was
process.
scared. I am still scared. So when you do something like that, you can't sugarcoat it, but you also can't like get into the nitty-gritty darkness of it.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to trigger readers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I tried to do my best to make it realistic without making it too realistic.
I think you did it really
was a
well.
very delicate mix. I wasn't cool enough to do drugs. I only
Don't do drugs!
Don't do drugs. So I have 0 experience with drug use. Luckily, I have friends who have experience with drug use. So I would write the certain scenes and I would send it to them and I'd be like, is this correct?
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to go out and experiment with drugs.
Yeah.
I think
to
that's
write the
really
book.
responsible,
Yeah.
though, to seek out
And then I have a
people's
friend...
like real lived experiences.
Yeah. I have a friend who's currently going through the recovery process. So I got her to read the book and I was like, is this too triggering? And there's scenes where we're doing kind of like withdrawals. And she was like, that was a little bit hard to read, but it's just because she was in the thick of it at the time. So that was good to hear that it wasn't too bad, but it was realistic. Yeah, the hardest part was just finding the delicate balance of like romanticizing it enough because we are in the characters' heads and they are romanticizing it.
Yeah.
While showing the world around the reality of it, while showing that it's recovery, while showing why people are addicted. Well, and it was just, it was a lot.
Yeah.
That's hard, yeah.
Yeah. So I had to like research like recovery processes and why people get addicted, and then like the fun things that happen to your body when you're on various types of drugs and alcohol, and when you do drugs and alcohol at the same time, they do stuff together, right? Yeah, there was a lot of research that went into it and a lot of care, and I'm sure I didn't do it perfect, but I freaking tried. I did my best.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully I did it justice for people who are in recovery, and maybe I hopefully warned some people who are like, maybe it'd be cool to do something, maybe don't do it, maybe you don't do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you did like a really good job discussing addiction, and not just like drug addiction, but also like looking at like alcoholism, looking at even just like other addictions. Like he makes his whole world label, right? And I think like that's almost like his first like addiction that we really deeply see. Like he obviously has like alcohol and cigarettes, but like I think a lot of the different characters in this book struggled with addiction, and I think you did a good job of like really exploring that in a way that felt realistic, but also not like so intense.
Yeah, like it wasn't deep and dark, but it wasn't like we brushed it aside.
Yeah, and it wasn't super like glamorized either in a way that's like, do drugs, they're cool.
Yeah.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
I thought you did a really excellent job. That had to be hard.
I was like, wow, this is like really well done and really
responsibly written.
Thank you. Yeah,
great
I mean,
work.
that's my whole brand. My whole brand.
Her brain.
Responsible representation.
Yeah, you do like a really good job with like representation too, and it feels like very natural. You had like a very diverse kind of crowd of people and sexualities and all sorts of things, and I think it felt natural.
Good. That's good.
Like,
Thank you.
Real people, and like I feel like a lot of different people can be seen in your books.
Yeah.
So in this one and in Let It Rain. So read them both.
Please.
Please read
I'm just
it.
a wee indie author.
You have like a writing process or like any rituals, things that you like specifically do or wear or drink a certain tea or whatever as you like sit down to write? None?
I would love to be that person. I once upon a time was that person, and then I had a child.
Ah, yes, okay.
And I am a full-time stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
So I write when Belle sleeps. I write when Belle watches TV. And I mostly write on my phone. I wrote Let It Rain on my phone.
That's wild.
Just
with your thumbs?
Just with my thumbs.
Wow, I
And
can't
sometimes only
imagine.
with one thumb. I started writing it 3 months after she was born. And so we bed shared and nursed. So she would be on this half of my body, and I would have one thumb. And I wrote 50,000 words in 30 days with my thumb.
That's
so when people
wild.
look at me and they're like, I
She's
can't
got a
write
buff thumb.
seriously, could lift a car. So when people look at me and they're like, I don't have time to write a book, I can't do it. And I'm like, listen, I did it with one breast and one thumb. Don't tell me you can't write a
What
book.
would you use your breast for?
For the child.
No, the other one.
Maybe that's
One
my
boob
ritual.
in,
There you go.
one boob out.
You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself
Maybe
around.
that's it. You gotta try
You
that.
can write a book.
So I would love to have a ritual. I would love to be that person, and like maybe when Belle's a little bit older,
Yeah.
I will. But no, not right now.
Well, it's amazing that you can write like awesome books without anything. Young moms, if you're out there watching this video,
Crushing it.
put one of your boobs away, write a book. Last question, I can't believe that we're already here.
Yeah,
What else can we expect from you? What's coming?
So we have 9 days until Birds and Music comes out. And then I'm going to be doing an online launch party on the 22nd.
Nice.
On Instagram. We'll do an Instagram Live. On September 10th, we're doing an in-person signing book launch party
Is
in
that
Spruce
at
Grove.
Anagram?
Yeah.
Oh, so exciting. I love it there. It's a board game cafe. Are you doing a reading?
Yes.
That's
Exciting.
awesome.
Yes. So we're going to do like a meet and greet in the beginning, and then we're going to do a reading. There's going to be a Q&A, and then we're going to do a signing and take pictures.
Awesome.
And
So fun.
and all that fun stuff.
Very
I
cool.
love doing signings. The weekend of the 16th to the 18th in September, I will be doing a panel on
The expo!
Yes. Oh, we're so excited
We're
for
planning
you.
on going.
Oh,
so
yes,
we'll see
yeah,
you
we'll
there.
be
fantastic. So
Yeah.
yeah, the panel's going to be on diversity and representation in media and how it's so important.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Which I feel like, while I may not be the best person to talk about it, I feel like I know some stuff.
Yeah.
And I might as well talk about it while I have the platform.
Yeah,
too.
totally.
And then I'll have a table in Artist's Alley, and I'm going to do books and
Ooh.
sell books. And there will be, like, if I have any leftover merch from pre-sales.
Mm-hmm.
So then after that, I'm going to probably breathe for, like, 5
You
minutes.
probably should.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a good idea.
For 5 minutes. And then I'm going to get into promotion for the vampire short story that I have included in an anthology, which is coming out in October. And then I'm going to get deep into promotion for Mistletoe Messes and Peppermint Kisses.
Which I've only read a couple of chapters of, but I'm excited for it to come out.
And there will be a book signing at, like, Chapters in, like, Edmonton.
Ooh.
Oh, it's so exciting.
Sometime in December. So
All
That is
right.
so
So
follow
fun.
me on the Instagram
Yeah.
so you can stay in the loop.
Yeah.
That's very exciting. You've
So
got a lot
exciting.
coming up.
Yeah.
And, like, keep posted for the next 57 years.
Because there's more books coming.
Very cool.
All right. Well,
Lots of stuff coming.
yeah, lots of stuff coming.
Yeah.
Everyone go read Words of Music. It is out.
August 22nd.
August 22nd.
Which this video is going to come out around that time. So
Yeah.
it might already be out by now. Seriously stoked to have you here today.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Follow all of us.
Yes.
Especially Catherine.
Links
Yes.
below.
Well,
Links will be below.
Yeah.
And, subscribe, follow, hit the notification bell, do all that.
Like all
Jazz.
the things you do in every other YouTube video, do it to ours too.
it.
Thanks.
Fun fact, I also have a YouTube channel.
Oh yes.
It is sitting a bit stagnant, but there is a book trailer for Let It Rain on there, and there is a book trailer for Words and Music on there.
Awesome.
So
Okay.
please go
We'll
check
link
those out.
Yeah,
below
we'll
as
link
well,
all
yeah,
that.
for sure.
Just for
Awesome.
fun.
Well, thank you
That's
for
so fun.
joining us.
Thank you so much.